Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we are all doing great. You are all welcome to this training session on SEO strategies. My name is Tamon Diodene, and I'm going to be your host for tonight. So today we're going to be talking about SEO, and we are going to focus more on why is it so difficult for websites to rank on the first page of Google. That is where we are going. Gentlemen, I hope we are all doing great. You are all welcome to this training session on SEO strategies. My name is Tam. All right, sorry about that interruption. So we're going to be talking about SEO, and we are going to pay more attention to why it's very difficult for us to rank on the first page of Google. Now, so many people get into digital marketing, so many people get into SEO, but they fail to understand that it takes time for you to be able to actually achieve SEO ranking. So today we are going to focus more on that aspect, and we're going to have a guest who is going to tell us more about SEO. So she is going to focus more on the theoretical part of SEO, so that for those who haven't heard of the word SEO before are going to actually understand what it is. Then from there, we are now going to get into the technicalities of SEO and how we can actually achieve the top page of Google. All right, so our guest for today is going to be Ngumsiri, who is actually a chemical engineer and equally a digital marketing student who is actually rounding up with the program. So she's going to take us through this program. She's going to tell us what SEO is all about, the different types of SEO. All right, so she's going to drill us in the world of search engine optimization. So I don't know if she's ready. Ngumsiri, are you ready to kick off with the session? Ngumsiri, are you there? Ngumsiri, are you there? I don't know if you're having some technical difficulties. If you can't unmute your mic, it therefore means that you surely sign in without, let me see. Try to unmute now, let's see, you must have some difficulties. Your network must be disturbing. Just try to unmute your mic. All right, if you're facing difficulties, you can log out and then you log in again. All right, I think it's going to solve that problem. All right, so I want to wish each and every one of you a warm welcome. I want to welcome you, Akam Michelle, Baron, Von Samuel, Gilbert, the CEO of Hilotech Construction, Lucy, Colin, Rudolph, and Thomas. And for those watching on YouTube as well. So for those watching on YouTube, you can just go to the comment section, you type in your name, and we'll be able to get the information, and we're equally going to acknowledge your presence in this particular training session. All right, thank you very much. So while we wait for our guests for this special event to come on, all right, we're just going to have a brief understanding about SEO, all right? So I'm just going to give you a brief talk about SEO. So you're going to actually understand. So I believe there are so many web developers here who are attending this session. So it is very, very important for you to understand what SEO is all about. All right, building a website, really, you need to rely more on search engine optimization. For that website to actually achieve the first pages of Google, you need to ensure that the website ranks on the first pages of Google. So for you to be able to achieve that, you need to create very, very good content. You need to ensure that the images you're using are great, the text you're using are perfect, all right? There are some tools which you need to use in order to ensure that you actually achieve this particular objective. So let me check if our guest is on. So Ngumsiro, I don't know if you've been able to solve that problem. Can you come on right now?
Yes, I'm on.
All right, perfect. So should I share your slides or you're going to do that?
So please share the slide.
All right. So once again, you are welcome. And I hope we are going to have a very brilliant session right up to the end. So the floor is yours. You can go ahead. So I think first of all, you're going to introduce yourself. So everyone who is participating in this training will know who you are before you get into the training proper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. I'm a chemical engineer by profession, but presently I'm teaching. I'm teaching science, chemistry, physics, biology in the middle school. And I'm taking digital marketing course with Tadita Institute. It's been 3 months and I've really learned a lot, and I would love to share what I've learned so far. So today we'll be talking about search engine optimization. Now, what is SEO? SEO stands for search, S for search, E for engine, and O for optimization. Okay, now this is just a process by which we create different strategies to be able to optimize our website. That is for our website to rank first when somebody comes up and say, for example, I'm looking for where I can buy an iPhone. And if you sell iPhones, your website should be able to rank first. That should be the first thing the person should see on the search engine. Now, there are two major purposes for this. Why do you want to rank your website? First of all, you want to index the website and store data such that each website uses crawlers and they collect the information to learn about the website and what it's all about. Now, it provides results to certain terms that is specific to the user. This is how this search engine is working. A good website should be user-friendly as well as search engine-friendly. What does that mean? It means that if you want to check if your website is user-friendly or crawler search engine friendly, this is a tool below that you can actually use that. Now, this search engine optimization is actually divided into two sections. You have the on page, which refers to the activities that you do on the website for it to be able to rank first. And you have the off page. These are activities that are done by the site, not necessarily on the page, but they will help you to be able to rank your website. Some of these on-page activities will involve the keyword selections. What kind of keywords do you put on your website? What kind of hashtags do you use? The placements, Google tools, meta descriptions. And for off-page, we have backlinks, social media, like Facebook to website, you have forum posting, you have sitemaps, and then you have search engine submission. How does SEO works? Like I earlier said, the on-page refers to the activities that you carry out on your website to be able to improve the way the search engine see your website. The search engine does not actually see the website the way we users see the website. They have a different way of viewing the website. So when these websites are designed, they are designed in a manner in which the crawlers can easily identify it based on the different pages, and the users can easily browse from one page to another without any inconvenience. Now, off-page and on-page. So for the on-page, the different activities that we'll be doing to be able to rank this website, we have the HTML, which enables the search engine to be able to recognize parts of the text, identify the text, and determine which text is relevant or not. We also have the usage of heading tags to be able to indicate the headings, separate the headings from the text, and also to show a very good structure of the website. The title tags, they indicate what the page is all about to both the users and the search engine. You also have the meta tags, which provide information about the content to the search engine. It tells the search engine whether or not to perform a specific action. And then we also have what you call the rich snippets, which are a form of the structured data, which allows the webmaster to be able to mark up the content on the website in order to provide information about a website to the search engine. Now, when you're carrying out on-page optimization, the kind of keywords that you put on your website is very important. These keywords allow the search engine to be able to understand the content of your website and relate it to the specific term, because the users actually have specific things that they are looking for. So the crawlers now identify the keywords that the users have typed to the keywords that you have used on your website. If they are related or the same, then your website is going to actually come up. The architecture. Here we'll be talking about the link structure of the website. How is your website built? If you create pages that are in no way linked to each other on the website, it will be very difficult or even impossible for the search engine to actually index these pages. Index the pages as in link them to the user, to what the user actually wants. Duplicate content. Duplicate content meaning a website actually has different pages. You have the about page, you have the product page, services, and the rest. Now, in some websites, you'll find more than one information on several pages. When you have such case, you will have one or several pages with similar content on your website. One way to resolving this issue is to use the 301 redirect. In this case, you redirect the search engines to one single page, and the search engine will only show one page in the search results, which increases the chances of your website actually ranking, and you will not have the problem of the duplicate content. Now, these different terms I'm talking about are just the different activities that you do on the page to be able to rank your website. Talking about the canonical URL tag. It has a similar approach to the duplicate content as with the 301 redirect, where you redirect all the other pages that have the same content so that the website actually realizes that it's actually a page, but it's not a page. There are different pages that have similar content. Now we'll be talking about the descriptive URL. It just contains a specific name on the document, which are both user and search engine friendly. You should also pay attention to the length of your URL. Shorter URLs are much easier to share on social media and emails. General recommendation is to use hyphen and make sure that it's very simple so that people can easily copy it and paste it. The site speed. Not every user is actually patient to be able to be on your site while it is loading. So the speed at which your site loads is also very important. In other words, the time needed for a website or a certain page of your website to load is very important. That this is related to the size of your pictures, the videos that you upload. If you upload very heavy pictures and videos on your website, it's going to take a longer time to load. Not everybody will be patient for it to load. So you find most of your clients or customers actually going to another website or preferring another page. The sitemap, it represents a list of all the files on your website and helps this search engine when crawling your website. Crawling here actually means just going through the website and actually recognizing the content that you have put and actually ranking it. Even though there are several formats of sitemap, the most common and recommended is the XML sitemap coding language. Now the off-page. The off-page ranking, we have been talking about the on-page. The links, keywords, duplicate content, these are things that you do on the website to make sure that it ranks first. Off-page are the things that you do apart, they are external elements, but they actually influence the optimization of your website and thus affect the ranking. These external factors are used to evaluate a website and rank them accordingly. Now you have two most important metrics here. The search engine actually measures the time these users spend on this website, as well as external links, where the main presumption is that people will only link to quality content. So the quality of the content that you paste on your website actually carries 45% of how much your website can rank. Links. Now, there are several ways that we can get links. These links actually help this search engine to discover the content that is related to a specific page. In some cases, you'll find that one website is being linked to another website. Now, this is what we'll be referring to as link neighborhood. When it comes to building these links, link neighborhood, if your website is linked to another website that is not really having credibility, Google will also assume that because your website is linked to another website that is not really credible, your website too is not credible. So if you have to put your link on a website, it's very good that you verify its priority and if it adheres to all the rules and regulations. Obtaining links from a website with high authority is a good way to improve your ranking and will obviously boost the authority of your own website. We have what they call the anchor text. It is a clickable part of a text that contains a link to a website. Generally, it's recommended that you use keywords and phrases that are actually on your website or they are very similar to what you have on your website. With keywords in the anchor text, it will be very easy for people to actually find your website. You have what you call the social links. Social shares provide a great opportunity to distribute your content and reach a large number of your users. I've been talking about links. Now, these links are actually being built by the digital marketer. And there are several ways that we do to carry out to be able to build these links. Building these links is just defined as the process of acquiring these hyperlinks, links that are clickable from other websites to your website. That is, somebody's on a particular website that has your link. Maybe I'm talking about an antibiotic that has to do with a particular disease. And on that person's website, I said, okay, if you're suffering from this particular case, this, you will need this antibiotic to be able to heal whatever you're going through. But if you need more information, you can go to this, and the person puts a link. That link will take you to another person's website that has to do with the antibiotics. So that's what all hyperlinks are all about. Now, if you look at what we have on the screen, we have like what we call the start of the link tag, the link referral, the anchor text in blue, and the closure tab. So this anchor text is actually that part that when you click it, it's going to take you to the other person's website or another page on that same website. Editorial links. Such links are merited and don't have to be asked for. In most cases, they are links gotten from other websites. You can usually deserve a link by publishing high-quality content, which the user will find useful and worthy of sharing. Okay, I would like to add something to the presentation. Now, for SEO ranking factor, you have the content, you have the links, and you have the code. When we talk about coding, we will be talking about the coding languages that the website is being built. That's HTML, JavaScript, PHP, XML, HTML, and the rest. That coding actually contributes to only 10% of how much your website is going to rank. The quality of your content contributes to 45% of how much your website can actually rank. And then the links, and that's the links that you put on other websites, maybe Facebook to your website, Instagram to your website, one website to another, contribute to 45% of how fast your website can link. So if you actually want to achieve good results, first of all, you should be very much interested in quality content, links, social links, and then before you can come to the coding part. But there are many advantages to doing this SEO. You have the brand awareness. If your business is still small, a lot of people get to know about your brand. It increases site visibility. It is cost effectiveness. Like when you spend money in ranking your website and it appears first, a lot of people, let me say if you sell phones, a lot of people when they're looking for phones and they go say iPhone 11, your website ranks first, you have a lot of clients. So even if you spend more, you actually have a lot of results, and you also have increased traffic on your website. But as much as it has advantages, it also have disadvantages, like you'll be getting noticed by more than your target audience. If you're starting a business and you have not yet maybe really established, and you keep running adverts or trying to rank your page, you'll be having a lot of views. But are you sure that you'll be able to meet up to this very high demand of clients? You have over success, and it's also very costly. So for very small people that are still trying to start, make sure that you have the right budget to be able to rank your website. And you should also try to make sure that you'll be able to meet the demands of your clients. In conclusion, I'd like to say search engine optimization is hard and tedious job. It takes a large amount of your time. There are too many pieces of the puzzle that you need to put together in promoting a site, and it will take an average of 90 to 180 days for any digital marketer to rank a website based on the on-page and off-page activities. There is no use in making the best website in your niche when you are not promoting it. Thank you. And I have come to the end of my presentation.
Thank you very much for that excellent presentation, Gumabetin. That was very excellent. In fact, I don't have the words to actually place on that. You did a very good job, and we want to appreciate you for giving us your time this evening to talk to us about search engine optimization. Thank you so much, and I hope that the skills will keep on growing and growing in you as you keep on improving on this aspect of digital marketing. So Gomabetin has given us an overview of search engine optimization. Now the question goes thus: why is it that we face difficulties in ranking our website on the search engine of Google? Now, before I answer this question, I want to know how many students here are web developers. How many participants here are web developers? If you're a web developer, just go into the chat area and type yes, 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 I am. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just go to the comment section and you type in yes, 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 you'll be able to get your responses. Anybody? Anyone? All right, now let's get into that particular aspect. Why do we face difficulties ranking on the first page of Google? Now, the answer to this question is most of the web developers or most of the search engine optimization specialists are always writing content for Google and not for users, right? You are writing content for Google, you are writing content to please Google and not to please your audience. Now, once you do that, you are going to face so much difficulties. All right, Rudolph says he is a web developer. That is great. So when you are writing content for Google and not for your audience, you are going to face difficulties. And the content which you write, Google is not going to rank that content because it doesn't meet up to the standard. Now, during the presentation which you just heard, Albertine made mention of on-page and off-page. Now, these are two different aspects of search engine optimization. When we talk about SEO on page, we are simply saying that you are writing content for the audience. On page simply means that you are writing content on the website. You are actually putting in content on the website, while off page simply means you are using external tools, all right, to rank your website. Now, there is a particular program that is being sent by Google to visit your website and see if your website is up to standard, to see if they can actually rank your website. And that tool is known as what we call crawlers. Now, Google sends these crawlers to websites to scan the website. It's like a scanner. It goes to the website, scans the website, gets raw data from the website, and now take that data to Google. Now, once it scans the website, gets the data, sends to Google, Google now analyze the data and see if this data is fit for public consumption. Now, once that information has been analyzed and Google sees that it is fit for public consumption, that is when Google is going to rank your website. So you can get these crawlers to your website through on-page or off-page. Now, how do you get the crawlers using what? On-page. You need to get a tool. You need to install. There are some tools which you need to put in place on your website. All right, SEO specialists will understand. You get these tools. These tools are going to help you to tell you what you need to put on your website. This particular tool, what we call plugins, will actually tell you if you need 5 images on your website, if you need maybe 3 external links or 3 internal links on your website. The tool is going to tell you how many words you need to put on your website. The tool is going to check your grammar, and equally going to check your spellings. These are things that count as far as what SEO on page is concerned. Now, when Google sends these crawlers to your website, the crawlers will come, analyze your website, check all these tools. Once they have been able to analyze these tools, they are going to report back to Google, and that is when Google is going to rank your website. Now, remember, when you're putting content on your website, you need to ensure that the content is what? Unique. You are putting a unique content on your website. Now, this unique content, this is a content which simply means that it shouldn't be the same as any other content on another website. Now, we have so many web developers. People who learn website, they just go do a crash course on web development, and they just start designing websites, putting content, borrowing contents from left to right, just bringing it to the website. And at the tail end, the website is not ranking. Nobody is, the website is not being known by anybody. That is because you have so many content on your website which are not unique. All right. So once the content is not unique, you're not going to get ranked. Now, How does Google actually know that this content is unique or it is not unique? Your website does not just start ranking. You don't just put information in your website and you think that it will start ranking. You need to call Facebook. You need to tell Facebook that, hey, you need to send an alert to Google. You need to send an alert to Google or any search engine and tell them that, hey, I have a website. I have content on my website, and I am inviting you to come and check the content on my website and see if it is good for public consumption. So many web developers just design the website, put content on the website, and they just sit. They don't invite Google. They don't invite any other search engine. Once you don't invite search engines on your website, you are not going to get any Google ranking. You're not going to get any Brave ranking. You are not going to get any Firefox ranking. You need to invite these search engines to come to your website and start doing what they call crawling. They need to send these crawlers to your website. How do you invite them? You need to do what? Put in things that are going to lure them. When you're studying SEO on page, you're going to learn about the various plugins, what you need to do to lure them to your website. For off pages, you need to visit so many different websites that deal with articles. You need to put in articles on those websites, and you put what we call backlinks to do what? To lure these crawlers, to invite crawlers from this website to another website. So off page simply means what? You're writing articles on one website, making sure that the articles meet the standard. From those articles, Google is going to send crawlers from that article to your website. That is how you start gaining ranking. That's the reason why when you go to a search engine and you type iPhone 11, iPhone 12, what happens? Most of the big guns, they appear. You will see Amazon is going to appear. You're going to see eBay is going to appear. You're going to see Kiku is going to appear. Jumia is going to appear. Now, these sites do appear because they have created articles that are good for public consumption. They have made sure that they have both on-page and off-page SEOs that help to do what? To invite these crawlers. Only crawlers can help your website to rank on the first page of Google. Only crawlers can visit your site, get that information, and send to Google. Now, I made mention of the fact that you need to put what? Unique content. We all know that it is very difficult for you to write articles every blessed day or maybe once a week, because in our society today, in the digital space today, everything has been done. What is happening now is just what? Modifications. We are talking about digital marketing. You're learning about digital marketing, but it has been existing before. If I'm talking about maybe 5 steps to rank your website on Google, these 5 steps are already existing. Now, I just have to borrow the information, try to ensure that it is unique by doing what? By rewriting that content. So if you want to use a content from another person, make sure you do what? You rewrite that content. You need to rewrite the content. The content should have the same meaning with the previous one you just copied, all right? But the words should be different. That's what we call what? Rewriting. Now, it is very preferable. You can copy content and put on your website, but don't invite Google to come there. Don't tell Google to send crawlers. It is fine. You're not going to be penalized. The only way you can be penalized is that maybe the owner of that article discovers that you have pasted their article on your website and report you. That is the only time which you can be penalized. Otherwise, you can borrow. You can just go to one website and copy every content on the website and put on your own. No problem. So long as you have not invited Google or any other search engine to come and check, there's no problem. And when somebody searches for your articles on Google, they will not see, because you are not achieving ranking. If you search any site on Google and you discover that you've seen the site, just know that crawlers have already started visiting that site. That is the reason why when you start designing a website, even at the moment, even if you're designing a website, you've started designing a website, even if you go to Google and you type, for example, when we started with Tadita Group Institute designing a website, even after 1 week, when I go to search to Google and I type Tadita Group Institute, they will tell me there's no result, or they'll be giving me results from other institutes. All right, you're not going to see anything about Tadita Group Institute. That's because what? Crawlers have not started visiting the website. you have not given that alert to Google that, hey, I have a website, I have content. Can you please come and start doing what? Ranking my website? That is what we mean by SEO. If you've never heard the word SEO, that is just what SEO is all about. So if you want to make sure, if you want to ensure that your website ranks on the first page of Google, you need to follow the rules and regulations. The first rule is that you need to write unique content. That's the most important aspect. Your content should be unique. You need to put in a lot of backlinks on your website, both internal links and external links. You need to have images on your articles or images on your post or your web page. You need to have titles on your website. When you're designing a website, for those who are designing a website with HTML, when we're talking about the H tag, all right? We're talking about the H tag, H1, H2, H3. Those are the different headings. When you do the normal text, is what that's just a normal paragraph, all right? You need to have maybe 1 or 2 H1, maybe 2 H2s, and so on and so forth. You need to add images. Those are the things that call attention. Now, when you go deep into SEO, that you decide to take it as a course, you're going to learn the various things that are needed, what you actually need to put at the back end of your website to invite crawlers. That is as far as on-page is concerned. For off-page, it's all about writing articles. Now, I made mention of the fact that on-page, SEO on-page means writing articles for the public consumption, while off-page simply means what? You're writing for Google, all right? It's simply you're writing for Google, but when you're writing for Google, make sure that the content which you're using is unique. Now, what do I mean by off-page? On-page, I think is very, very understood, but with off-page, I'm just going to break it down. Now, there are so many websites out there that deals with articles, deals with blogs, all right? If you just go online and you type, let's say, 10 best ways to rank on Google, or 10 best ways to advertise your product on social media, you're going to get so many articles. Articles are going to pop up. When you click on those articles, maybe on a link that appears, it's going to take you to a website that deals with articles, a website that deals with blogs, and you're going to get so many articles from there. There are some websites that permit you to write articles on their blog page, on their blog, or on their website. They give you the permission to write articles, but make sure that the article which you're writing is unique. Now, you know it is very difficult to get unique articles these days. So there are tools which you can use in order to do what? To avoid what we call plagiarism. Because if you use somebody's article on your website, that is known as plagiarism. Facebook is going to either ban you, they are going to fine you, they can fine you money, or they can ban you completely, which means your article will not be shown in any part of Google. So you need to avoid what we call plagiarism. Try as much as possible to get unique content. There are tools which you can get somebody's article and you rewrite that article. That tool will help you to rewrite the article. The article will have the same meaning but different words. At that level, you can now use that same article and you are going to avoid that aspect of what? Plagiarism. So I believe this training particular has given you an insight about SEO, all right? If this is your first time of hearing the word SEO, I believe this time around is going to give you a wider scope. You're going to understand more better. Now, any question? Any questions so far? Any question as far as SEO is concerned? Now, the presentation which Abetin did is a perfect, in fact, it carries everything as far as SEO is concerned. So if you're able to listen to her, to understand what she was saying, I bet you're going to actually get what you need as far as SEO is concerned. Any question? If there are no questions, I believe we are done with this session, except there are questions. Any question? Now I mostly have except Beron and Rudolph, who are not part of the Digital Marketing Advanced Program. I don't know if they have any question, because I believe the others are perfectly fine with the presentation so far. Beron, you are new. Any question? Rudolph, any question? All right, if there are no questions, I want to thank you all for joining us for this presentation. I'm very, very excited we actually had the presentation. And please make sure you always come back to attend subsequent presentations in the next coming week. The next coming week, we are going to be having SEO. We're going to be having social media marketing. We're going to be having sessions on Google Ads and so on and so forth. So feel free to come back, try to get what you can get from the upcoming experts. And I believe you're going to get so many you're going to gain so many knowledge as far as this is concerned. So thank you all for joining us throughout this session. And I want to thank Gomabe team, especially for actually breaking down this SEO so that those who just join us can actually grab what they could get. And I want to equally welcome in a very special way Mr. Wahilari Chi, who is the CEO and founder of Hilotech Construction, and is equally a partner with Tadida Group Institute, where he is taking the BIM Master Program, which is meant for civil engineers. So, Mr. Wahilari, I don't know if you have anything to say as far as this training is concerned.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Wahilari, I can get you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tamon. No. Actually, I think I want just to thank. That was the Ngum Abetin who presented earlier. I think her presentation was on point, and also to thank you. And I just want to encourage everyone who is in here to take everything that is happening serious. Okay, when you have an opportunity to attend a session like this, always make sure you attend, because everything that Tarita Institute is throwing out there, these are the tools that you actually need in order to cope in whatever domain that you find yourself. So always make sure that you grab any opportunity that you have, you know, in order to attend and all that. Well, I don't really have a lot to say, but I think I myself, on my own part, I have learned something, even though it's not really my field. I'm more of architecture and engineering. So yeah, I don't really have a lot to say, but just to encourage everyone who is in here to just keep on and always make sure that you attend, and also invite your friends. Okay, yeah, invite your friends, invite your colleagues, so that they can also come in and they benefit. The whole world is gradually going digital. Everything is going digital. So you have to try to make sure that you pick up the skills with any slightest opportunity that you have. Again, I want to thank the mentor, Mr. Tamon. You are really doing a great job. I really want to thank you and to encourage you to continue. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Wahilari, for that words of encouragement. So thank you all for attending this session, and see you all in our next session. Bye-bye.